Hello, my name is Jido Disholu. I'm the CEO of Octo5 Holdings Limited, a real estate development company based in Lagos, Nigeria. We've been around for 20 years, and our quest has always been to make homeownership easily accessible to the working professional. Our very simple mantra is this: if you earn at the very minimum 250,000 naira monthly, or can say you have household income above 250,000 naira monthly, you can own a home, you can be a property investor. What we've sought to do is to create processes that make this affordable and accessible. So over the next couple of minutes, we're going to be sharing with you some of our ideas, some of our products, and some of our solutions designed to make it possible for you and your loved ones to own property in any area of your choice. Part of what drives a man is the quest he chooses to subscribe to, or put differently, where he chooses to make his home. Fortunately for my clients, unfortunately for me, I grew up with a simple dream: creating cities that allowed families to be able to thrive in serenity and in calm. And that meant I had to create it all from nothing. So 23 years ago, we birthed a company called Legacy Realtors Limited. And that company had a very simple purpose: to make homeownership easier for career working professionals. To achieve that goal, with my colleagues back then in Texaco Overseas, one of the then upstream companies, we sought to acquire property in one of the then outlying areas of Lagos called Shangotedo. And this was a 25-hectare development that we wanted to acquire, and we sought to build our own homes at that location. To be candid, I never sought out to create a company out of it. It was basically a passion that I shared with my colleagues. But fortunately, at that point in time, Texaco was also merging with Chevron, and I opted to retire as one of the youngest retirees from the oil and gas sector of Nigeria. And a lot of my colleagues then said to me that if I was opting out, they were also opting out of the transaction. So there I was, saddled with 25 hectares of land in the middle of nowhere, a dream, a passion, and no money. But I had something, and that was a reputation and a name amongst my colleagues for being an outlier and somebody who sought out to make the impossible possible. Today, that estate that we sought to create is called Heritage Place. But more than Heritage Place, it's surrounded by some of the biggest developments that you would have in the greater Lekki area. For instance, the largest mall in Lagos is right next door to it. And you have about 6 other developments that have come on stream between 2000 and date. But you see, the best part of it for me was that some of the clients that we had in Heritage Place were some of my oldest associates. These are people that knew me when I was just like every other person, a younger career person, and just got married, and we all used to share passions and visions. And they bought into that vision, and they built their family homes at that location, and many of them actually still live there till today. They trusted me when there was no reason to trust me. They had confidence when there was no reason to have confidence. And they put in their money, because all I sold them was a simple premise that if you put in money and you can pay it instrumentally over 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, the property will be yours. And that's how we built Heritage Place.
So I've known Jide as well. Jide is the CEO of Octo5. I've known Jide for over 10 years as well. And then I think, first of all, I was living nearby the heritage property, and then when I was given the privilege to buy that property, I think I felt there was a good relationship between myself and Jide. And then so I decided to invest. And then when I saw that property, it was quite unique. It was small, peaceful area, you know. And then so I liked it and I invested. And ever since then I'll be there. And then we've had other developments that has come into that place as well. Like you have the Novary Mall, you have the monastery. When I started living there 10 years ago, it was empty. It was just 2 of us, you know. So I like the property. It's quite small and peaceful.
We weathered many storms. We went through the first banking consolidation and the crisis it brought. We weathered the second banking tsunami. At the end of those upheavals, I was weary, I was tired, and a lot of my colleagues by then felt, look, we'd achieved it, we'd done Heritage Place, we'd done Ocean Bay, we'd made at the very minimum about 200 people homeowners. It was time for us to hang up our gloves and go retire. But a quest is a quest because it means it hits you up. You can't rest. And I couldn't rest. And I felt that we had not achieved our vision. Because our vision wasn't to make 200 people homeowners. Our vision wasn't to make managers homeowners. Our vision was to create a situation where a working professional, a young graduate, could actually sign up to a package and say to himself, by the time I get married, I'm going to be living in my own house. And that young graduate can actually buy that house, and as he grew and as he grows, grow to the point where he decides that, okay, you know what, this house is now too small for me, I want a bigger one. And then he can go to the point where he decides, okay, I'm creating my own business, I need collateral to use for loans, and he can have the papers of that house and use it for a loan. That is the vision. That was what motivated us. And we realized we hadn't achieved that goal. Yes, we had helped catalyze the whole new industry. Yes, there were so many other people now doing development, but no one was meeting the need of that young professional. And that's what birthed what we now know as STOW. STOW, put very simply, is called Save to Own. It's an app that you have on your phone, or you can have online. It's a web-enabled app. What makes this app special is that you can subscribe today as a young professional and sign on and start paying 10,000 naira monthly, so long as you have discipline. Even as a young lady, who says it's only your husband that should own property? Who says your property has to be in your husband's name? You can actually aspire to own a property too. You can sign on to STOW, open an account online, start saving. When you build your saving up to a 10% minimum threshold, you get an offer letter from us that says you've now saved up to 10% of the cost of a home, and you are now qualified to be the owner of that home. We'll give you the timelines. You then have to save up another 20% to make up to 30%. With that 30%, you get a conditional allocation letter. It might take some people 6 months. It might take some people 1 year to get to the 30%. It doesn't matter. You're working at your own pace. But when you get to the 30%, you now get a conditional allocation letter. That letter says we are now obligated to deliver your home within a defined time period. With STOW, we have payment plans that allow you to pay over 24 months, over 36 months, over 48 months. These are for people whose income can support such payment plans. For some others, your income can't support that payment plan. So what you require is a mortgage. But see, that's where the catch-22 is. The mortgage company will tell you you need to have collateral, you need to have your equity, you need to have immediate equity for them to give you a mortgage loan. The house has to already be built. We all know the reality. There are no houses already built. The ones already built have been bought by big boys and big girls, so you can't aspire to own them. What we do with our partners, we work with Nigerian Mortgage Refinance Corporation, we work with Home-Based Mortgage Bank Limited, and a number of other financial institutions. What we've done is to create a model that says if you're diligent and you're saving consistently for a 6-month period, you automatically qualify for a mortgage loan. So just try and imagine that you are a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old bank staff, and we're telling you that by the time you're 50, you'd have paid off your mortgage. You won't even feel the pain. But it starts with the discipline of starting on that payment plan. So when you start with the payment plan, after you've done the initial deposits, you qualify for an allocation. When you get your allocation, you can now opt to convert to a mortgage loan. But that's not the best part of what STOW does. Because STOW is a transparent system, you can actually see the various developments we have ongoing. Currently, we're starting with about 4 developments. We're starting with Aaron's Bake, which is at Ocean Bay. We're starting with Meadowwalk, also located near Ocean Bay. We have Pelican's Patch at Alpha Beach. We're coming up with 2 developments around the greater Lekki area, our safe haven home communities. We also have in Sherry, which is on the border with Lagos. And we're currently negotiating for 2 sites in Abuja. Our goal is to ensure that the major financial centers, which is basically Lagos, Ogun, Abuja, are fully covered. And we have about 10 developments that we're launching between this year and early next year that are going to cover these all locations. This is just the start. But the goal is once we cover these locations, we're now going to begin to cover every state capital in Nigeria. Remember I said to you that our goal is a working professional. I don't just mean working professional working in banks. As a matter of fact, if you are a graduate of the NDA and you're a second lieutenant or a captain, our goal is to ensure that by the time you're a major, your family actually owns a home. You have a dangerous job. you don't know what can happen. You don't know where you're going to be, but you do get allowances. Rather than spending all that allowance just trying to make things go by, you can actually take on the discipline of saving towards a home, and you can't own a home. Who says we have to be corrupt to meet our basic needs? You don't have to be. Our goal at Octo5 is to ensure that our homes give you security, they give you comfort, they give you peace of mind, and all the basic services that you would normally require in a home are provided there.